Yes, sir.
The Midwest family, I would like to introduce you to a very special guest, Mr. Marcus Boyd, who has been around the block a bunch of times. He is an accomplished autism defeater and just a worldwide, nationwide, probably you are worldwide, advocate for autism, and he has a brilliant message for you today, not just about autism, but about disabilities in general.
Yes, sir.
And how you turn that disability, just like y'all do here. When you come here, you take a disability and you turn it into an ability. It's not what you can do, it's what you can do. And that's what we look at. We move that disability out of the way and get you into something where you are capitalizing on your ability. You want to talk about a story where somebody has capitalized on their ability? Here it is. And I'm not going to blather on anymore. Mr. Marcus Boyd, thank you and welcome.
First of all, Midwest, I want y'all to give yourselves a hand for you being here. Y'all up here. Listen, I'm very honored to be here. I'm excited to be here. So that's why I'm going to be here until maybe, to about 1. Because I want to see how y'all operate. I want to see how y'all move. I want to be around this amazing environment. Because y'all are amazing individuals. Now, I don't like to speak and have just people listen to me. So if I point to you, I want to know more about you. I want to know, who you are, what you do, and stuff of that nature. This is an interactive speech. So you just don't have to listen to me. We all can share. We all are a big happy family up in here. So, you, sir, what's your name, and what do you do here at Midwest?
Me?
Yes, sir.
I'm here with my grandson.
Okay. What is his name, and what does he do here at Midwest?
Well, he told me. We're supposed to pick him up every morning and come over here to play it like 1 o'clock.
Okay.
I'm his grandfather.
Amazing. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he did good. To be honest, he did real.
His hat's off.
Yeah, kind of fit his self.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do anybody in here raise their hand? Do anybody know what the word autism means? Anybody? Or what do you think it may mean? Well, see, for me, I have autism. So I was considered nonverbal, level 3. I'm 42. So when I got diagnosed with autism, I was 10 years old. That was April 12, 1993. So when Dr. King diagnosed me originally, before the 10 other doctors in 2 different states, when they said that I had severe autism, and we talking 93 people, they had books, pamphlets, and groups or support groups. It was not something that was like made to the public, where you could just go on, where you can go AOL.com and talk to other people who have autistic children or stuff of that nature. And then I come from old church, okay? I come from old Baptist, okay? So that means prayer and Jesus is the only answer, okay? That's it. We're not skipping Jesus, okay? So my grandmother believed in spare the rod and spoil the child, okay? So she didn't understand my episodes. She didn't understand my emotional behaviors. When I threw that 20-inch TV, she didn't understand that either. You know what I'm saying? So I constantly got butt whoopings and stuff of that nature because it wasn't like she could comfort me and nurture me, because my grandma had 24 kids. Okay, that's 24. Okay, my mom is 2 football teams that my mom had. Okay, now that means it's 22 of us. Okay? So if my other siblings have a situation of challenges going on, I didn't know they had challenges like they didn't know I had challenges. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about early 80s here. So with me being nonverbal, again, my testimony, my situation is no different from anybody else. Does anybody else besides this amazing young man have autism up in here? Anybody else have autism? Few over. Okay. So with me, it was really difficult because I was placed in foster care when I was about to turn 5 years old, because my birth father did not understand what autism was. I didn't have a grandfather like you are to your grandson. And at 42, I still wish I had that. You understand what I'm saying? My birth father felt the needs because I was jumping on people at 4 years old. I had a situation in my head. I thought he was laughing about me. So we'd be at the park. I'm jumping on people. I'm scratching them. I'm biting them. These are perfect strangers. I'm having emotional behaviors and sensory issues in public. And my birth father felt like that was embarrassing to him. So he could not deal with the fact that I was different from my brothers. So it went from, at first he shunned me, didn't want me around, to, okay, you doing this at the park. Now I'm gonna throw objects at you. I'm gonna use swings to halfway choke you to death. And I'm gonna beat you in public because you are a menace. You're not like the other kids. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was 4 years old, my birth mother went to family court and told the judge that if you take Marcus out the home, then my marriage can be saved. She said that I was the R word, and that Big Tommy don't beat the rest of the kids, he just beats Marcus. You understand what I'm saying? Marcus is the only one real that's broke. Marcus is the only one that, you know what I'm saying, can't do nothing. My birth father felt like that I was a disappointment. Okay. He said that because I don't speak, I'm not verbal, because I'm 4 years old and still wearing diapers, using the bathroom on myself and stuff of that nature, because I rock, I slob on myself and stuff of that nature, because I have these issues, that I can't be his son. That my birth mother had an affair with somebody that has my issues. You understand what I'm saying? So entering to the foster care world, I'm 4 years old, I don't know nobody. This is 86, 87. You understand what I'm saying? I'm born in Atlanta, Georgia, raised between Atlanta, Georgia, upstate New York. You know, I'm raised between Atlanta, Georgia, and Brooklyn, New York. Okay? So yes, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, people. Anybody there ever been to New York?
No.
You might want to go because it's nice there. It's nice. Just don't go when it snows. Please. Don't.
I think.
You do?
I think that, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the thing is with me and my autism, again, my testimony, my story is no different from anybody else's. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, you know, when I was growing up, I didn't have a Midwest. There was no Midwest type of opportunities for me because I'm growing up in the projects in Brooklyn, New York, and in Atlanta, Georgia. And at that time, we was in welfare lines because we had food stamps. The stamps, not the card. So that's right, we had the stamps. You know what I'm saying? So we used to get pork in a can and cornflakes and the big old bologna and the government cheese that I miss. But government cheese that I miss. But my situation again, because I didn't learn how to start speaking until I was almost 13 and a half, and that was at a 2-year-old's level. how a 2-year-old communicates. That's what I was doing at 13 and a half. I didn't start speaking like I do currently until I was almost 18. Again, I'm 42. So when those doctors said that the left side of my brain does not function in the capability as a child my age at that time, and that I would need to be institutionalized for the rest of my life. I would need a caregiver for the rest of my life. I won't get education. I won't live on my own. I will have to have a caregiver for the rest of my life because of my behavior and of my mood swings. So they offered my grandmother a stipend. They said, you know, at the time, again, my grandma had 24 kids, so a stipend, a check, $20, anything, she would have took it, but she got a bunch of kids. Plus she was helping to raise my mom's kids in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in New York. Okay? So my first pet was a roach, okay? It wasn't being like Michael. My first pet was a roach, okay? So, you know, she's trying her best to raise all these kids in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. And then when she loses her job, how is she supposed to operate? How is she supposed to pay rent, bills, get stuff for the little girls, or get stuff for the boys? But one thing about my grandmother, we may not have good clothes going to school, but she kept us in suits and ties going to church every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday. We stayed in church. That was our home before anything else. We was in the church. She didn't care if the doors open, we was there. Okay? And then she didn't care that I was nonverbal. My grandma forced me to sing in the choir. You can't even hear me sing. And she didn't care. She said, you're going to sing, you know, Amazing Grace. You're going to sing Shabbat. You going to sing, you know, how great they are. You know what I'm saying? You going to sing this. I don't care if you mumble, spit, whatever you choose to do. But you're going to give glory to God. So, again, my thing was, I am nonverbal. I'm in this dangerous and strange world of foster care. Nobody knows anything that I'm dealing with. I'm on these medications because the doctors then offered my grandma a stipend and said that if we can I use the E word, if we can medicate him, then he won't be having these outbursts. He won't be having these behaviors. He won't be throwing a chair at a staff member. He won't be using the bathroom on himself in class. He won't be, you understand what I'm saying? So when they first put me on Ritalin, then they said that we need to have something to offset his Ritalin, Paxil. Then they said we need something to make sure that his mood swings stay away. Depakote, lithium, Seroquel, Zoloft. You understand what I'm saying? We started at 50 milligrams. From 50 milligrams, we went to 500 milligrams. I've been medicated from 4 years old to 21 years old. Again, I'm 42. So, I didn't make decisions for myself under those type of medications. I did not know they was considered psychomatic medications. I did not know that I really couldn't make decisions or think for myself when I was on those medications. So yes, I was doing what somebody told me to do the first time around. I was listening. I was, following directions. But it wasn't my directions that I was following. It was something that was implemented inside of me, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? So again, I'm 10 years old. Y'all following me? Because I ain't trying to put y'all to sleep and stuff like that. I know y'all got important stuff to do. And I'm very grateful that y'all took time out y'all schedule to listen to little old me. You know what I'm saying? But so in my journey, I've been in 17 foster homes, 16 group homes, and 16 mental institutions. Okay? We're talking about those mental institutions have been in 3 different states. Okay? So I experienced electrical shock therapy, which I pray to God they don't still do electrical shock therapy in mental institutions. And for those who don't know what electrical shock therapy is, it's when you refuse to take medicine by mouth, they will electrically shock you for 5 to 10 minutes to get you in, quote unquote, in line to be able to take the medication. So I don't know if they still, you know, handle those type of procedures. And, again, I was in 4 outpatient centers. And by the time I was 7 years old, I was homeless. Because my foster parents chose the yellow check. Again, I'm showing my age. It was where they used to pay you to be foster parents. They used to give you $2,400 checks, clothing vouchers, and stuff of that nature to be foster parents. So they said they didn't want the foster kid, they want the check. I guess they forgot that the caseworker comes out there every 3 months. So I'm homeless. So how you gonna find me? When the caseworker got to go out there to physically check on the child. You kicked me out 3 months ago. I'm walking the streets, I'm sleeping in dumpsters. 7. I'm eating out of dumpsters. Still not verbal. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see here. Because me and Wes, I'm trying to give you information and share some information as well. Can I ask you, by a show of hands, are you a sibling or a parent to somebody that has special needs? Show of hands, are you a parent, sibling?
I'm a grand.
Listen, you got a shirt that says that? That needs to be a shirt.
No.
You got a shirt?
You know me?
Yeah.
No.
You need to promote that as you saying, because you sound proud saying that I'm his grandfather.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, that needs to be your brand. So, who are parents of kids? You a parent?
Parent.
You a parent? And how old is your son or daughter?
24.
24?
Yes.
And what makes your son or daughter? Did you point? I didn't see where you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What makes your son and daughter amazing? What makes them special? Why do you? Not just because they're your son and daughter, but why do you stand and become their voice? Why do you fight for them?
Because she's very talented, understanding. We just like friends.
Okay, no friends.
So we talk about everything.
Wow.
Yeah, we stress, we go out of town, do things together, and everything.
Any other?
She look just like me right now.
I stand on showing gifts and talents, not just if you have autism, any type of situation that you have to show your gifts and talents. So if she's gifted like you saying she is, then continue to push that gift out of her. Continue to push her towards greatness. Regardless if she's verbal or not, her gifts and talents still can be seen and heard. You understand what I'm saying? Any other parents up here? You're a grandparent? Okay. You're a grandparent? Grandparents?
Parent.
You a parent? Grandma?
Proud grandmother.
Yes, ma'am. You better say it like this. You better say it. You see, I honor y'all for being here. Because this type of situation, honor rolls, any type of award that the individual gets, something very special. You understand what I'm saying? I couldn't get my parents to show up for honor rolls. Or when we had facilities in school or whatever, my birth parents didn't want to show up. My birth mom used to write notes to my teachers saying that we'll rather support the rest of the 3, because it was only 4 of us in a self-contained classroom. So I was in a self-contained classroom that I got introduced to IEP at kindergarten. So that's why I repeated kindergarten 3 times. I guess I repeated it because I love taking naps at that time. At that time, I love taking naps. So they would give you cookies, milk, and you get a nap. Listen. I did not want to move. Look, that's my whole 12 years right there. I did this. But, you know, my birth mother said that she'd rather support the other 3 kids than support her son. She didn't want nothing to do with me. Fast forward, I'm 42. She recently tried to pop back up in my life because one of her friends saw me on the magazine cover. Okay? They saw me on the magazine cover in the autism group and said that we need to have him to be flown out so he can talk to my nonprofit organization. And my birth mother told her that's my son. So you knew 37 years I was your son. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is, I believe in God strongly, but my family, not gonna lie to you. I told her we got to keep the same energy as you had in 1986. In 86, when you was in that courtroom, you was all dressed up. Yeah, we got to keep that same energy. You can't lose that energy. It's a workout. But I forgive her. I don't hold grudges. But, you know, the Bible says forgive. The Bible don't say to be foolish. You know what I'm saying? But fast forward, because again, I ain't trying to waste y'all time or whatever, but I wanted to be able to share this story to give some type of inspiration, hope, and enlightenment. Again, I'm 7 years old, homeless and nonverbal. I don't have no food to eat. I'm downtown Atlanta, nothing. So this homeless guy, said I could sleep in his abandoned house. He had needles everywhere, cocaine everywhere, burnt spoons everywhere. Okay? His name was Daryl. But what Daryl may have had his issues, but what Daryl knew? Daryl knew I couldn't talk. So Daryl, again, this is my situation. I'm not promoting or advocating for this. Daryl helped steal Pampers for me. Daryl helped steal clothes for me to wear. He stole food so I can eat. Again, I'm not advocating.